December 8, 2016. Guys, I had a bad suspicion something was going on when we saw this pressure on the Cascadia Fault. Now, this is showing a 6.5, but we've seen other sites that's showing multiple aftershocks, including a 6.8 in a different location. Guys, that's strong and it's dangerous, but things may not be over, because if you change this, what happened just a few minutes ago is an 8.0 in the Solomon Islands. There's tsunami warnings out. We're going to check that. We're going to look at the National Buoy Data Center, but look at the difference in the strength indicated on this earthquake 3D model compared to a 6.5. I've mentioned this before. The scale grows very exponentially. Again, let's look at this. Think about that, guys. That's an 8.8. Let's look at the details. This event has multiple buoys going off, guys. Something that strong usually will. And we were concerned seeing the quakes this morning, but you remember the Banda Aceh quake a few days ago in Indonesia? A lot of destruction, a lot of people killed. That's a warning. There's a lot of pressure in this area. And let's go through some of these buoys in this area. Again, the Solomon Islands located here. And you can go here, and all you got to do is type in National Data Buoy Center, guys, and it's www.ndbc.noaa.gov. It's linked on the website also. These are very early monitors that are going on here. Any expansion of the wave, things like that, will also show in the buoys. They may not be showing now, and there's probably more buoys in these areas on different websites. We'll check that up in an update later this afternoon. But in the northern buoys, and we'll go through them, but what I've noticed checking them is the water has dropped. Not a lot, but we're seeing at the point of the quake a drop in the depth of the water. Not less than a meter, but that's saying the water is more than likely, or the area of land there has more than likely dropped down, or the area close enough to the buoy has dropped. Now that would be pushing water in a different direction as that rises back up. But you've got we'll start here. This is North Manus, 345 nautical miles north of Manus Island, New Guinea. We'll go in and check this buoy out. And this is what I'm talking about. At the time of the 8.0, we saw a drop. We'll pull this up and look a little closer. Now, notice the color of the lines here. Blues 15-minute, greens 1 minute, 15-second increments in the red lines. But you see the sudden drop. So that when that water drops, somewhere it's going to be pushed back and outward from that point. And if you look at the water column height here, it's not a great drop because we're still dealing with 4,439 meters in depth of the ocean there, and a little below in that drop. And again, the drop was more significant than the rise, even though that would be less than a meter. And you see the quick rebound, and that's going to push that amount of water. Now, these are distant buoys. They're not right at the point of the quake, but they're the closest ones showing on this particular station. We're going to check for any updates and other tsunami watches and warnings that can pop up in that area. Now, guys, notice we got just the opposite. If we're still in National Data Buoy Center here, but going into the Coral Basin towards the Queensland Plateau, you're in the Coral Sea. Let me back out. You've got the Solomon Islands here, Papua New Guinea, coming down into Australia. The exact opposite. This is Coral Sea 1, and you've got that's station 550112, guys, but it's called the water column height, and again, the exact opposite. Instead of a drop, we saw a quick rise. So we're dropping on one side of the Solomon Islands and a rise on the other side. Now, you got to remember this, as any wave gets closer to shore, especially you surfers know this, that it's going to get larger. So we need to watch, and you guys in these areas along the coast of any of this area, from Solomon Islands to Papua New Guinea, northward, back south towards Australia, over into New Zealand, watch this in the small harbors and bays. Keep an eye on this site. We're watching it. It's a heads up. Be safe.